do love that music. It sets me to dancing, even in my chair. No telling what would happen if I got up. I might dance all the way out to the barn. Anyway, hi. This is Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe. I'm back. And we've got more fun with candy. I have found one of my all-time favorites when I was a child. I was raised in Missouri, the Midwest, and this particular candy was extremely popular back there because it was invented and sold originally from St. Joseph, Missouri, which is, a nice part of Missouri. I think it's down south. Anyway, it's a wonderful little town, probably bigger now than it was back then. But the candy that I'm talking about this time is, I got it upside down, the cherry mash. Did anybody ever hear of it? I don't know. It's just a little pocket full of candy, a little 2-ounce bump of peanut chocolate covered stuff. It's the inside that's so good. It's a cherry mash inside made with real maraschino cherries. And I don't know why it became so popular. It just did. This little particular candy, let me get my cue up here so I can read the ingredients, or not the ingredients, read the story to you. So bear with me as I read and talk. The company is cherrymash.com if you want to go look them up. And the company itself was Chase Candy Company. And it was started in 1876. And they didn't make cherry mash yet. That came along later. It was born in 1918. It seems Dr. George Washington Chase decided that, his son actually asked him to start making this particular candy and to sell it in their little store that they had, a G.W. Chase Mercantile Company, as a little retail store. And the candy just became extremely popular. Everybody just loved it. And it was 4 ounces. Can you imagine? It was a big chunk. I had forgotten how big it was, but when you're a kid, everything's big. But now it's small, but it's still a mouthful. You will love it. And I'm telling you, the best place to find it that I know of is Hobby Lobby. I did find it one time at a little convenience gas station, and they never had it again. So it's available. Just have to find it. Or I'll tell you in a minute what else you can do. But anyway, cherry mash just was extremely popular in the Midwest for many, 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 many years. And let's see, I'm getting down here to the rest of the story. Oh, they built a new building in 1922 to just house the candy company. Had 4 stories in the downtown St. Joseph. And they employed over 400 people. Back in 1922, 400 people in a small town, that was big. In fact, one entire floor was dedicated just to the chocolate dipping crew. Can you imagine all day long dipping chocolate on these little things with the cherry mash center? That must have been an interesting job, but it was a good job too, because I'm sure the company was prosperous and they paid their people well. So anyway, in 1926, the cherry mash was already 50 years old. Can you imagine? And the Chase Candy Company itself had over 500 different kinds of candies and a lot of candy bars. And they had a famous mascot. I had forgotten about the mascot. I'm going to put the little wrapper up there. Can you see the little cop over there? That was their mascot, the little candy cop. Isn't that fun? I had forgotten that. And it's on every one of their labels still, on the cherry mash in particular. And I have not looked for it on any other candy bars, so I don't know if it's on others or not. But anyway, it is extremely, extremely popular to this day. And back in the 30s, of course, we had the Great Depression. And most of the candy companies just had to struggle if they made it at all because sugar was rationed. And some of you lived through that. I know you did. I didn't because I wasn't born until the 40s, but I've heard stories about all that stuff when the war came out also, and the sugar was rationed and a lot of other foods and stuff. So anyway, a lot of the companies had to cut back. So in 1940s, the Chase Candy Company got purchased by a company called F.S. Yantis and Company. And they were in the Pepsi bottling business in the Midwest. So by buying the candy company, they kind of acquired a larger share of the sugar rations so they could keep their bottling company going, and they still kept a few kinds of candies. And back in the 40s and 50s, there weren't that many kinds of candies being made, mainly because of the sugar stuff. So anyway, in the 60s, the company moved to a different plant also in St. Joseph and produced exclusively the cherry mash because it was such in huge demand. I remember back in the 50s and the 60s, that's when I ate the candy bar too. And then we moved to Texas, and I never saw it again until about a year ago. That was an amazing thing. My brother found it at a service station, the little convenience store, and told my sister and I about it. And we made a beeline for that store. We asked where it was, and we drove over there, bought the last ones he had, and he never got them back. I don't know. But anyway, the Chase Candy Company is still going strong. And Cherry Mash is now 100 years old. And I forgot to show you. I cut one in half here. I wanted to show it to you, what it looks like in the middle. Here we go. How about that? Doesn't that look good? That's the Cherry Mash Center, maraschino cherries. Oh, I bet you're starting to get hungry. Uh-oh. Guess who might have to eat this? If you were here, I'd share it, but you're not here. Okay, sorry. Anyway, the Cherry Mash Company has a slogan, and it's called "From the Hands of Loyal Candy Makers to the Hearts of Loyal Customers." And quite frankly, I am one of them. Oh, I can smell the cherries. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Anyway, I was going to tell you that you can still order Cherry Mash through the internet. I didn't know that. That was a big surprise. Now, since the weather's already spring and warm, they do protect it with special packaging so they can ship it to you. And that is included in the price of the candy. They have a 24 count box of these little guys, the 2.5 ounce or 2.05 ounce, little one. But it's $46 for 24 of these little kids. Pretty good price, I would think. I forgot what I paid for it at Hobby Lobby, but it was, I don't know. I just can't remember. Maybe $1.50, $2. I'll have to go look. It was a while when I bought, after a while I bought them. But anyway, you could get that shipped to your house if you're hungry for Cherry Mash. And then they have the little mini mash. I didn't know that. I've never seen them. They come in a little change maker jar that you can put at the counter, like for a convenience store or a retail store. And there's 60 of the little individually wrapped bite-sized, and that's only $18. And if you want to get the little mini mash in a bag, they come 12 ounces to a bag, and that's $42. So you have a way to find this candy if you want to just go online to cherrymash.com. Isn't that amazing? And here's a little known fact. This is off the subject of Cherry Mash. But you remember M&Ms? Where's my M&Ms? M&Ms were always one of my favorites too. Way back in the day, they had a tan colored M&M. Do you remember the tan? And back in the 95, they ran a contest with the candy lovers, and they wanted to invite them to vote on which of the colors to replace the tan with. Evidently, tan wasn't a big favorite of anybody. I didn't mind. I ate it anyway. But anyway, the contest was finally over, and they chose blue. Remember, we now have a blue M&M. and they got 54% of the votes just for the blue. So, and they replaced it in replaced the tan back in 1995. It doesn't seem like that long ago, does it? But yeah, I thought that was a little interesting tidbit about M&Ms because I had forgotten that the blue was a new color. So that's it for today. More candy coming. I've still got a whole bunch over there. So I'll be sharing that with you at a later time. And I put the nice heart up here because of the red for Cherry Mash. They're a wonderful, wonderful company. So if you can, hunt for it, but find it mostly at Hobby Lobby, maybe some convenience stores, or order some just for you if you're a Candy Mash fan like I am. Anyway, I will see you all later. Love you. So I would start the music again. I just love that music. Get up and dance with me. Come on, let's dance.